Welcome to Ancient Tech Decoded. We are decoding the ancient stone tablet warning of the third object. We are exposing the truth about 3IATLAS. Imagine looking at the night sky, not with mortal eyes, but through the lens of the warning buried beneath Mesopotamian sand for 6,000 years. There is a presence in the dark sector of the solar system, a phantom modern agencies whisper about. Yet the ancients carved its orbit into solid rock. Have you ever wondered if impossible is just a word? Is it just a word we use for a technology we were never allowed to understand? These coordinates do not lead to gods. They lead to a rendezvous in the void. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you find the journey we are about to take to be a worthy one. Let me know in the comments, where in the world are you receiving this signal from? Now let's travel back in time and deconstruct the story of a lost world. You are standing in the silent archives of the British Museum, mind drifting to ancient plains of Shinar. Before you lies Tablet K8538, the Nineveh Star Map, but not viewed as a religious prayer. You are viewing it through the eyes of an aerospace engineer. As you sweep a spectral laser, across the baked clay surface, the dust of history blows away, revealing the stark truth. This is not art, this is telemetry, thousands of years before Johannes Kepler penned the laws. Of planetary motion, a Sumerian scribe carved these lines with a chilling panic. You realize that the cuneiform characters here do not describe fixed constellations. They describe a dynamic vector. You are tracing your finger along a deep groove representing an extreme elliptical orbit. It belongs to no known planet. It is not Mars, it is not Jupiter. It is a third object. A variable X sitting outside the ecliptic plane. When you input these ancient parameters into a modern computer simulation, your screen flares red with a collision warning. Not a physical impact, but a temporal one. The trajectory matches the current path of 3IATLAS, the anomalous object just detected by deep space observatories. A shiver runs down your spine. The Sumerians were not predicting the future with a crystal ball. They were warning us of a cycle. They calculated the return of a colossal visitor, an artificial structure camouflaged as a celestial body, hurtling toward us with the precision of an atomic clock. The most terrifying part isn't that they knew. It was coming, but that they knew exactly when it would wake up. The shot is a tense, high-angle wide shot inside a state-of-the-art deep space telemetry control room. Illuminated only by the cold, clinical glow of monitors, casting sharp blue light on furrowed brows.
This doesn't make any sense.
On the main screen, 3I Atlas is visualized as a jagged obsidian void against star fields, overlaid with frantic red trajectory lines defying predicted paths, showing an impossible acceleration curve. Newton's laws are not suggestions. Unless you are the one rewriting them, you are now standing in the control center of the Pan-STARRS Observatory in Hawaii. The atmosphere in the room is not one of discovery.
It can't be right. The probability just
confusion.
spiked.
Rerunning the numbers now, but it looks bad.
You are looking at the orbital data for 3IATLAS, trying to force numbers to make sense. According to every rule of celestial mechanics, a rock falling toward the sun behaves predictably. It should succumb to gravity, accelerate around the star, and decelerate on the way out. But 3ATLAs is not behaving like a rock. You watch the telemetry update in real time. As the object passes the orbit of Mars, it does something that drains your blood. It accelerates. Not because of gravitational slingshot, and not because of outgassing. You scan the infrared spectrum looking for a thermal bloom, a telltale heat signature. There is nothing. The screen shows a flat line on thermal output. It is at absolute zero. Yet, the velocity tracker shows it gaining speed, adding thousands of miles per hour instantaneously. You are witnessing a violation of Newton's third law. To move forward, something must be left behind. But 3I Atlas moves without reaction. You realize you are looking at a propulsion system. This isn't chemical burning. This is the manipulation of the fabric of space itself. It suggests an Alcubierre drive or a zero-point energy siphon, pulling vacuum energy. It is falling forward into a hole it creates for itself. The object isn't tumbling through the void like a dead asteroid. It is perfectly stabilized. Its long axis is locked onto a specific destination vector. It is correcting its course. You realize with a sinking feeling that the random trajectory wasn't random at all. Nature doesn't build straight lines in a vacuum or things that speed up unexpectedly. You are no longer tracking a celestial body, you are tracking a craft. The shot is an extreme macro close-up, rendered in slow motion, focusing on the microscopic texture. Lighting is dark and atmospheric, with a single razor-sharp red laser beam scanning the surface. We are in a shielded, soundproof underground laboratory, where the silence is absolute, except for equipment. The subject, the ancient clay and quartz matrix of the tablet, is physically reacting. Tiny grains of silica dust are levitating and dancing in a symmetrical pattern above the surface. The action depicts harmonic resonance. In the background, a spectrum analyzer flows with jagged peaks. Stone does not speak, unless it is waiting for the right command to break its silence. You are standing in the quietest room on Earth, an anechoic chamber designed to isolate delicate instruments. But the sensor needle in front of you is trembling violently. You are not measuring an earthquake. High above the atmosphere, 3I Atlas has just emitted a pulse, a fast radio burst. Most astronomers dismissed it as cosmic background.
Still nothing but noise.
But you possess the other
Agreed.
half of the equation.
It's been a long night for nothing.
As the radio waves from the object wash over the planet, the Sumerian tablet begins to hum. It is not an audible sound, but a vibration so precise that laser vibrometers struggle to chart it. You realize with a sudden jolt of adrenaline that this artifact is not merely dried mud. You grab the spectrographic analysis of the clay. It's anomalous. The matrix is saturated with fused quartz and conductive metallic isotopes arranged in a lattice structure that doesn't occur in nature. It looks less like sedimentary rock and more like a primitive printed circuit board. You are witnessing the terrifying physics of sympathetic resonance, just as a singer shatters glass. 3.1 ATLAS is broadcasting a specific frequency key that fits the lock of this stone structure. The tablet acts as a piezoelectric transducer, converting electromagnetic energy from the object into mechanical vibration. You zoom in on the data. The vibration isn't random noise. It's a binary sequence. The stone is processing data. You realize that for 6,000 years, this object has been dormant. A sleeper agent left on the shelf of history. It survived the rise and fall of Babylon. It sat silent and inert. But now the master signal has returned. The gods haven't come back to rule. The operators have come back to ping their devices. You look at the oscilloscope where the wave from the stone and the wave from space overlap perfectly, creating a constructive interference pattern that spikes off the chart. The tablet isn't just a map. It's a transponder, and it just sent a signal back confirmation, active. The shot is a simulated visualization based on high-resolution telescopic data presented on a holographic table. In a darkened strategy room, the texture is grainy, mimicking raw optical sensor feed. Contrasted against sharp vectors, the scene is dominated by infinite black space, punctured by white stars. The subject, 3i Atlas, is visible only as a conspicuous absence of light, a shifting silhouette. The primary action captures a bizarre optical phenomenon as the object passes in front of a background star. The star's light does not blink out. Instead, it smears and curves around the object's edges, moving like liquid, creating a distorted Einstein ring. The auditory experience is unnerving, a continuous drone. Narrator's voice is low, calculating, and skeptical. True self is not about becoming invisible. It is about convincing the observer there is nothing to see. You are frustrated. You have access to the most powerful optical arrays on the planet, the Keck Observatory, the VLT. Yet, every image of 3i Atlas comes back as a blur. The public report states it is tumbling, and has an extremely low albedo, meaning it is dark as charcoal, absorbing almost all sunlight. But you are looking at the raw photometric data, and you see the lie in the numbers. When a normal asteroid passes in front of the star disappears, an occultation. It is a simple eclipse, but watch the screen closely as 3i AES traverses a background star field. The stars behind it don't just vanish. They warp, their light bends, smearing around the contour of the object before snapping back into place. You are not seeing a rock. You are seeing a lens. This is the signature of active camouflage technology. You realize the object is coated in a metamaterial, a structure engineered at the nanoscopic level. To have a negative refractive index, it guides photons around its hull like water flowing around a stone, effectively rendering itself transparent to casual observation. This is not natural evolution. Rocks do not evolve to bend the visible spectrum. This is defensive engineering. You run a simulation stripping away the noise. The data suggests the object actively manages its signature, dampening its reflection to blend into the cosmic wave background. It is designed to be seen as a void. It is hiding from radar, from LiDAR, and from our eyes. Why would a visitor do this? To go to such lengths to remain a shadow? Because it knows it is being watched. It assumes a hostile environment. You realize that for thousands of years, while humanity was fighting with swords and shields, this probe has been drifting through the dark. With a stealth rating that makes our most advanced fighter jets look like bonfires. It isn't just passing through. It is sneaking in. The shot is a mesmerizing cross-sectional CGI animation in a high-security situation room. The visual style is medical-grade imaging meets architectural blueprint, utilizing a palette of ghostly grays. The scene is set in a shadowy command bunker, illuminated only by the rhythmic, hypnotic pulsing of the screen. The subject is 3i-ATL-A, but as the animation plays, the jagged, asteroid-like exterior dissolves, peeling away like skin. Revealed beneath is a flawless, towering geometric obelisk, a perfect cylinder of impossible smoothness. The action focuses on the core, where a tiny, blindingly white point of light expands. Contracts rhythmically. Nature builds in chaos and fractals. Only intelligence builds in perfect geometry. You are looking at the results of a Muon tomography scan, the only technology capable of seeing through kilometers of rock without touching it. For weeks the world believed 3I Atlas to be a cigar-shaped asteroid, a quirk of cosmic erosion. But as you adjust the contrast on the density map, that illusion shatters. You are stripping away the camouflage, the rocky, craggy surface that fooled the optical telescopes. It is just a shell, a sacrificial crust designed to absorb micrometeoroid impacts. And cosmic radiation, it is a sarcophagus. Inside this rough exterior lies the true traveler. You stare at the screen, your breath catching. Beneath the chaotic rock lies a structure. A structure of terrifying symmetry. It is a cylinder of polished alloy, mathematically perfect. With ratios that echo the golden mean, there are no craters here, no scars. From billions of years of drifting, it is pristine. You are looking at a manufactured object. A bottle sealed against the vacuum. But it is the center that frightens you most. The thermal sensors, showing the surface at absolute zero, are picking up a rhythmic spike. From the core, it pulses, expanding and contracting. It is a thermal heartbeat. You are not looking at a chemical engine. You are looking at a containment field. The physics required to keep that energy stable suggests a microsingularity. A trapped black hole, no larger than a proton, being harvested for infinite energy. This is the engineering of a Kardashev Type 2 civilization. They have captured a piece of the primal universal force and put it in the cage. The implications hit you like a physical blow. This is not a derelict ship. The heat signature proves the engine is idling. It is a sentinel, drifting in low power. A sleep state, conserving its exotic fuel until it reached the trigger coordinates. The rock was the disguise. The machine inside is the observer. Peeling back the layers. You haven't just found a ship, you've looked directly into the eye of a watcher. The shot is a surreal, microscopic journey rendered in CGI of indistinguishable realism. Moving through the interior of a translucent, holographic double helix. Visual texture is liquid and organic, combining bioluminescent blues with hard, cold grid lines. We are in a sterile bioinformatics laboratory, illuminated by the soft, clinical glow of gene sequencing monitors. The subject is a complex stream of binary code, actively merging and locking into the strands of human DNA. The action depicts a handshake. The digital code from space touches the biological strand, causing dormant sections to light up. We spent decades listening for a message, never realizing the receiver was already built into ourselves. You are staring at the most confusing dataset of your career. The encryption team handed you the signal, expecting it to be a star map or math, but you are a geneticist looking at recurring patterns. You don't see prime numbers, you see amino acids. The signal isn't a communication. It's a transmission of biological instructions. You run the sequence through the supercomputer logic. It aligns perfectly with a mysterious sector of the human genome, the non-coding DNA. For decades, scientists dismissed this 98% of our genetic material as junk DNA. Evolutionary debris left over from trial and error. But looking at the screen now, you realize how arrogant that assumption was. It wasn't junk. It was storage. The sequence from 3IA-TLAS acts exactly like a CRISPR-Cas9 activation key, designed to unlock these dormant regions. You watch the simulation play out. If this signal were fully integrated, it wouldn't kill us. It would change us. The implication makes your hand shake. This object didn't just stumble upon Earth. It knows our biology intimately. The architects of the ship likely wrote the code inside us. We are not just observing a UFO. We are experiencing a remote firmware update. We haven't been waiting for aliens to teach us. We have been biological sleeper agents. Carrying a sealed package in our blood for millennia, waiting for the trigger signal. 3-1-ATLAS is that trigger. The message isn't "we come in peace." The message is, it is time to ascend. The shot is a lonely, cinematic, wide shot of the outer solar system. The sun is reduced to a distant star. Visual texture is cold, vast, and indifferent, emphasizing the terrifying scale of the void. The subject, 3IA-TLAS, is now a diminishing speck of light, firing a single blinding pulse of blue-ion propulsion, executing a perfect gravitational slingshot maneuver around Jupiter. The action captures the moment of departure. The object accelerates violently, stealing momentum from the gas giant to hurl itself back into the deep. Gravity is not just a force. For them, it is merely a fuel station on a highway we cannot see. You stand before the main screen one last time. The tracking bracket turns from red to yellow, then gray. Signal lost. The object has passed the heliopause. It didn't stop to conquer. It didn't land to greet us. It treated our sun like a gas station, using our gravity to refuel and slingshot back into darkness. The silence in the control room is deafening. Colleagues are celebrating the near miss, relieved it didn't hit. But you feel a knot of dread tightening. You look back at the digital scan of the Sumerian tablet. You trace the full curve of the orbit one more time. The line doesn't end in deep space. It loops. You realize with clarity that this was not a flyby. It was a patrol. The third object is on a closed time-like curve, a highly elliptical orbit returning at precise intervals. The Sumerians didn't carve a warning for their time. They carved a schedule for ours. The object isn't abandoning us. It is simply finishing its shift. It collected the data. Our radio leakage, atmospheric composition, the biological handshake. Now it is returning to the dark to upload. The silence that follows isn't peace. It is the ticking of a very long clock. Humanity has been living in the quiet period of a cycle we are only just beginning to comprehend. The visitor has checked the sensors. It has calibrated the sleeper agents in our blood. And now, it leaves us to wait for the next bird. The scary part isn't that it left. The scary part is that now it knows exactly where we are, and it knows we are finally awake. The screen fades to black, leaving only a lingering afterimage of the starfield. The frantic energy of discovery settles into a profound, heavy stillness. We are left alone in the dark. But the darkness no longer feels empty. It feels occupied. We look at our history books and see linear progress, but the universe operates in circles. 3-1, ETLS forces us to confront a humbling reality. We are not the masters of this house. We are merely the tenants living in the basement, momentarily noticing the landlords walking past the window. The ancient Sumerians tried to tell us. The stone tried to warn us. The code in our veins tried to unlock us. The question is no longer, are we alone? The question is, what happens when the clock strikes the next hour? And the silence is broken not by a probe, but by an arrival. End of episode.